Well, as we enter day 4 of the government shutdown, we have heard a common refrain from Democrats. They are categorical on this one point. They claim Republicans are lying when they say that Democrats want to provide health care for illegal immigrants.
The idea that this is an effort to make sure that illegal immigrants can get health care is just not true.
Don't keep saying lies. The Democrats want to give full health care to illegal immigrants.
When they say that undocumented immigrants are going to get this money, it's a lie, plain and simple.
No federal dollars are spent on people who are undocumented.
It's a lie, but perhaps they've forgotten this.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being from access to public safety, public education, or public health, period.
You cannot let people who are sick, no matter where they come from, no matter what their status, go uncovered.
We do ourselves no favors by having 11 million undocumented people in our country be unable to access health care.
So we brought the receipts. Joining me now is Republican Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. You know, Tim, the CNN fact checker emerged from the dark cave that they had been hiding in. And here's what they found. I want to pull this up. Fact check, CNN, Trump falsely claims Democrats want to give free health care to illegal aliens in government shutdown battle. Well, as I provided for my friend and colleague Jessica Tarlov yesterday, page 57 of Schumer's resolution does just that. Tell us what exactly is going on.
Well, it's Schumer. It's Section 2141, and actually Jake Tapper, of all people on CNN, called out Hakeem on it, and he was just dumbfounded. You can't imagine that they're not, handing them out the free stuff. But the reality is, it's Chuck Schumer's. It's his ego, ma'am. All this is Schumer sees in his rearview mirror Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and he knows that a literally Marxist communist is going to win the mayor of New York. And that is Schumer's base. And he realizes he's lost his base. So he'll shut the whole country down just to stay in power, which is what we've seen time and time again. You know, the Democrat Party is supposed to be this party of the youth. And I mean, look at Pelosi and Schumer. I mean, I think Schumer might have been skiing behind Noah's Ark or something. These people are ancient, and they keep trying to run the country, and they're lying. And the thing that you got to realize now, the cool thing is that ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and the cluckheads at The View, they're spewing out all these lies, but now nobody is listening to them anymore. The Democrat Party, originally, everything the DNC would put out, the leadership would put out, and then they would all have to have cover there because nobody would check it up. But people are reading these bills. They're checking it out. They're finding out on page 57 that the Democrats are lying. And they've got nowhere to run. The Republicans voted to keep government open, and the Democrats want $1.5 trillion in there to basically fund health care for illegals, and it's in the bill.
Well, Congressman Burchett, Chuck Schumer, he said last night that you're the problem. He said this, that you in the House of Representatives, you guys are going home and getting paid rather than staying and doing your job. But I mean, last time I checked, the House of Representatives passed a CR.
That's correct. Chuck needs to go back to his front porch and grill raw hamburgers with cheese on them, ma'am, because that's about all he's good for. He's lying. The public knows it. He's caught up in it, and the Democrats have nowhere to run. The Republicans passed the bill. We voted to keep government open. They continuously lie, and no one is buying it. I mean, even CNN at some point is calling them out on this stuff, and nobody's buying it. We've already done our work. We're just waiting on the Democrats.
Congressman Burchett, I want to ask you something that gravely concerns me as a mom. This went viral this week that on Netflix, there is actually transgender content. I was very disturbed by this. I went and looked. I allow my daughter to watch some shows that I vetted, that I like. One of the shows was a remake from when I was a child. I thought it was just fine. I Googled it. As it turns out, there's transgender content in there. As it turns out, it was a show that she was watching at the age of 5 years old. Now I'm deleting Netflix from the iPads. I'm going to look very closely. What can you do in Congress? Elon Musk, he said this, cancel Netflix. You see it there. What can you guys do in Congress?
Well, Elon was kind enough to retweet one of my tweets when or X's when I was on the Benny Show this past week. We need to call the heads in of Netflix and some of these other left-wing propaganda outlets that are out there. We have a First Amendment concern, of course, but this is the FCC, and there is something called community standards, and we need to know, why are they putting this thing out? I've kind of dug into this a little bit more, and the way they do it is they do these scenes and they switch them around very fast. The old days, Andy Griffith, it was just one camera and it was great. And they do different scenes and it's moving around every few seconds, and that releases certain things in young children's minds. And we need to find out, why are they doing it like this? Because this is attracting their brains. This is molding their brains. In the 50s and 60s, they did a study one time, and they put a soft drink. They put 3 slides of it in a movie one time. A soft drink with the water coming off the side. You could tell it was really cold, but you didn't see it, but your brain picked it up. And they made that illegal because people were rushing out buying soft drinks, of course. And this is exactly what they're doing now. It's possible that Congress needs to outlaw this type of activity, and it's really just a way to move kids' young minds. And the one thing we found out during COVID, we started looking over kids' shoulders at what they were getting from their schools. And these young Americans, these young children, we ought to have more control over, are soaking this stuff up. And that's why you're seeing the explosion of transgender and all this. And to me, ma'am, it's demonic. I'm a believer. I know you're a believer, but I believe this is from the pits of hell. Yep, and I thank you for being a working mom, and you're a good mama. So thank you.
I totally agree. It's good versus evil, and this is kids Netflix, and I'm thrilled to hear that you're going to call some of these guys before Congress to get some answers. I'll be watching that hearing. Congressman Tim Burchett, thank you.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, RLA, said Republicans are winning the messaging war over the ongoing government shutdown and urged his conference to keep the heat on congressional Democrats during a private call with lawmakers on Saturday. The call came on the 4th day of the shutdown, a day after Senate Democrats again rejected a GOP-led plan to keep federal agencies funded through November 21st. During the call, Johnson and other House GOP leaders urged fellow Republicans to use this next week in their districts to tell constituents about what the ongoing shutdown means for them, Fox News Digital was told. The House Speaker expressed confidence that the shutdown would end quickly if Republicans hold the line, Fox News Digital was told, and praised the House GOP's unity so far amid the fallout. Johnson also told Republicans toward the end of the call that the House would return only after Senate Democrats voted to reopen the government, a source said. House and Senate GOP leaders have signaled that they will not budge from their current federal funding proposal, a short-term spending bill called a continuing resolution, CR, that would keep spending levels roughly flat for 7 weeks. That measure passed the House, largely along party lines, September 19. The House has since been out of session in a bid to put pressure on Senate Democrats to accept the plan. It is also why Johnson opted on Friday to designate the next week as a district work period, canceling a previously planned legislative session from Tuesday through Friday. Johnson told House Republicans on the call Saturday that it was the best way to prevent Democrat disruptions, Fox News was told. No Republicans voiced disagreement with the plan, Fox News was told, signaling the GOP's unity on the issue. He told reporters during a press conference Friday morning that the House may not return until Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, and Democrats agreed with Republicans' bill. We passed it, and it's been rejected by the Senate, Johnson told reporters during a news conference. So the House will come back into session and do its work as soon as Chuck Schumer allows us to reopen the government. That's plain and simple. Democrats, infuriated by being sidelined in the federal funding negotiations, have been pushing for an extension of Obamacare subsidies enhanced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Those enhancements would expire by the end of 2025 without congressional action. Democrats have also introduced a counter-proposal for a CR that would keep the government funded through October 31st, while reversing the GOP's cuts to Medicaid made in their One Big Beautiful Bill, OBBB. The counter-proposal would have also restored federal funding to NPR and PBS that was cut by the Trump administration earlier this year. Republicans have panned that plan as a non-starter full of partisan demands, while pointing out that Democrats have voted for a clean measure similar to the GOP proposal 13 times during former President Biden's time in office. On Saturday's call, House GOP leaders encouraged Republicans to emphasize that Democrats' counterproposal would restore funding for illegal immigrants receiving Medicaid dollars that was cut by the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, Fox News was told. Democrats have accused Republicans of lying about that line of attack. GOP leaders also emphasized on the call that military members are not paid during government shutdowns, urging Republicans to make that point in their districts, while also warning that federal flood insurance funding is also in danger of drying up. Fox News was also told that House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, our Louisiana, said the next important date in the shutdown fight would be October 15th, the date of service members' next paycheck, which they could be denied if the shutdown continues. Senate Democrats have now rejected the GOP's funding plan 4 times since September 19th. The Senate is expected to next vote on the bill again on Monday.